next day and it's sunny, so I said why not have a little drive and go explore some of more of these poor villages here in the north. I am in the village Galatin, I think, just driving through on the way to some places that I have on my map, because I found a couple of houses on Imod.bg that look interesting, so I just want to roam around and see how the towns are basically. Yeah, so far so good. I have to say I really love driving here in this area, just because the surroundings is yeah, it's very idyllic countryside style. Like I was saying yesterday, you have all these hills and farmland and forests, and each village is really like surrounded by nature, so I really like that. It's very calm, very peaceful, and yeah, I have to say that even though people call or presume this area is poor, just looks like the rest of Bulgaria, but it might be that I'm just kind of like used to everything now, so to me it just all looks the same, all looks similar. All right, so the plan is, yeah, let's just drive around and see what we end up finding. I'm in the village called Lesura, and I stopped here because it's situated on top of a hill, well, not on top, throughout the hill, and it has a really nice view of the Balkan mountains and the surrounding fields. So let's have a quick look. So this is one of the streets that is on top of the hill, and as you can see down there, these houses all have a view. Whoops. I have a feeling I've seen this house on Imod.bg. I will have a look if I'm correct. I have to say though, everyone is saying, well, everyone, a lot of people are saying to me, oh yeah, the houses in the north are gonna be cheaper. When I'm going through the websites, and I know the websites, the real estate websites, they're gonna be a little bit more expensive than if you just stumble upon a house and find the owner and try to get them to sell it to you. But still, the houses, like the cheapest that I could find was, I think, 6,500 euros in this area, and it was in a devastating state. And I know that houses like that are being sold for 6, 7, 8, even 10,000 euros used to be 2,000 euros, 3,000 euros. So used to, I'm saying like 10, 15 years ago, because my hosts have bought a house for 4,000 leva. It needed a lot of work, but nowadays, even like houses that are almost ruins are being sold for 10,000 euros. So that's why I'm saying like the prices really, really went up, as they did everywhere in the world. So it's not like Bulgaria is somehow being immune to what is going on in the real estate market everywhere in the world. So yeah, it's gonna be challenging to find a house within my budget, but I believe it can happen. It's probably not gonna be in this area just because the style of the house and the style of the property that I'm looking for is very specific, very particular, and this area just doesn't have that many. The ones that I saw were just in very, very, very bad state. But it's interesting to see what is out there and to see like what price range you can expect here. So that's why I'm doing here. That's why I'm doing this. Not, yeah, you know what I mean. All right. That is one side of the village on top of that hill. This would be facing east, and here on this side where I am, we are facing kind of like this is south, east, and towards the mountains there in the back. Not the most spectacular view, but still you have a little bit of the mountains there. Horses around. Hello. Yeah, this is what I mean when I say the houses are in bad condition, like in a really, really bad condition. I was just talking to grandma here. Well, she was talking, I was trying to understand her Bulgarian. But yeah, she told me half of her life story, which is, I like people here, they're so nice, even in the village where I'm staying in Osen. When I go for a walk, when I go for my raschodka, everyone is so nice and always wants to chat with me. But yeah, I'm still a very basic understanding. Hey, kitty! There we go, another cat. Hey, kitty! Oh, I really need to start buying some cat treats. As I was saying, yeah, everybody loves to chat here. Especially the older people, because I guess they don't really have many people around to socialize, a lot of them. Like she said, she has family all around in Sofia, in Vratsa. It's far away, so she doesn't see them every day. So I know that she needs company probably. Yeah, lots of houses, but for a lot of work. But a nice place, I like it here. Okay, this is the edge of the village, and you actually have a nice forest here. Some farms, little farms. Just nature. Okay, let's go back to the car. She stopped me again, Baba, when I was walking back past her house. What a legend. Such a nice energy she had. Too bad she's here all alone. But she said she has some friends in the center of the village, so that's nice. Okay, I think it's time to drive up to the next seloto. Let's go. Okay, this road is a complete disaster. Jesus. That's pretty. I'm driving through the village called Kladentsi. Definitely looks a little bit rougher than some of the other villages that I've seen in the area. Yeah, lots of abandoned buildings just right on the main street. But otherwise, the area looks decent, I have to say. There is one more village I want to go see close to Devene, where I've seen quite a lot of buildings, quite a lot of houses on the website. So let's go there. It's about a 20-minute drive. How Bulgarian of me. I made tikvenik and this is my lunch today. It's good, but I didn't put enough sugar. I'll make it better next time. Welcome to Malorad. They have a new outdoor fitness. Narodno čitalište. This is a nice square with some monuments. I have a good vibe about this town. I've seen a lot of houses on the market. So let's just have a stroll. That's the center of the village, and I'm just going to take a walk here on top of the village. Maybe there's a view. Let's see. There's a little church there and a little picnic spot. I don't know if you can see, but these houses here on top have a nice view of the Balkan mountains. I'm sure in winter, when the tops get snow caps, it must look really nice. There's a doggy. And so yeah, this is the center of the village. Most properties here are so overgrown that you can barely see the house, which is a shame. I'm surprised though there's an asphalt road here at the back of the village. It's not very common. It's just endless rows of streets and houses. Hundreds and hundreds of them. It's quite a big place. And contrary to what I expected, there's not that many abandoned houses. At least in this part here on the top. At the end of the village, what you will find most commonly is where people come and dump their shit, unfortunately. I think one of the main issues with houses in Bulgaria is that their construction is poor to begin with. Because a lot of people just DIY these houses. They don't get a construction company or whatever. So the foundations are not great and the whole structure is just not solid many times. I'm not saying that all of them are like that. So when I see these houses, even if they're just like 30, 40, 50 years old, they have huge cracks in the walls, crooked roofs, things like that. Yeah. Okay, I'm now at the end of the village, which is quite a nice place. There's abandoned houses here. This house actually has very good potential. Doesn't look in such a bad shape. And now you can sense that there's a but coming because even though it's at the end of the village and it's all nice, that's the main road and you can hear every single car that passes. So, but this is on your backyard basically, and then the village continues that way. But I see it has a well. It's quite good structurally. There's another barn there. Yeah, this could be interesting. And this is the neighboring property. It's also abandoned. Okay, I'm gonna head back to the car. I've reached the very end of the village now. I just want to sum it up a little bit, this 2-day house hunting adventure. I will say, in my opinion, the poor north looks pretty much like any other town. I'm not counting the traditional ethnic idyllic towns with traditional old architecture, but this is just like any other town in any other different areas that I've been, I think. Yes, some houses may look a little bit rougher, I think, and there aren't that many old, like 100-year-old buildings left. If they are, they're in bad condition. But price range, I think, is pretty similar to other parts, so I wouldn't say necessarily that it's so much cheaper here. Maybe I would have to go closer to Duna River. I'm not sure if that makes any difference because now I'm still about 100 kilometers, well, actually less than 100 kilometers away. But yeah, I think this area would be appropriate for someone who really wants peace and quiet and like a true Bulgarian countryside with not that many expats. I don't think there are that many here. As far as I'm concerned, the kind of property, the type of property that I'm looking for with an old traditional house, I think is just a very, very slim chance that I would find it here. So the next house hunting is gonna be back in one of the regions that I first explored when I first came to Bulgaria more than a year ago. I'm going to Veliko Tarnovo and Gabrovo regions, and I have a really, really strong feeling that something might happen there. So please cross your fingers for me, and let me know if you have any questions about this area. And also I want to hear from you, like, what do you consider to be the poor Bulgarian north? I want to hear your opinion, and very controversial question of gypsy villages, because I'm still not very clear on what that's supposed to be meaning. Okay, there's an important thing I want to add about the so-called gypsy villages. I think often what people are referring to when they say, oh, be careful, that's a gypsy village, it doesn't necessarily look any different than any other villages, but it's more that there's a proven record of gypsy crime, let's say, or like thefts. So as my hosts warned me, in some of these villages that they said they are gypsy villages, you can't really leave your house unattended, because if you leave, especially if you leave for a longer period of time, they will come and literally like empty it. And also very oftenly they would just come and steal things from your yard, especially if you have some wood laying around or things like that. So yeah, that's something to keep in mind. But when it comes to like surface wise, like you don't really see much of a difference. In some places, yes, you can see that there's gypsy settlements. It's very obvious. But in most cases, the villages, they just look same pretty much everywhere. So yeah, that's just what I wanted to add about that. Tell me what's your experience, all the Bulgarians here on my channel. Let me know what you think. And also the expats that have been living here. Thank you for watching. I hope you got some value out of this. And yeah, I'll see you in Veliko Tarnovo region. Enjoy, bye bye.